Dude, Blizzard, what are you? Oh man, okay, so today Blizzard dropped a bombshell of an article, or I guess a blog post, in which they're explaining the rank changes coming mainly for Season 4. But man, there's some. It's a doozy. It's a huge doozy. Now, if you want a much longer video, I think Stylos has like a 25-minute video. Go watch his video if you want. I'm a little bit more discussion-based, TLDR. You can also read the blog post yourself down below. Okay. Let's start with the title. Blizzard reverting back to Overwatch 1 is not clickbait, it's just the fact that they're only doing it for the top 500 matchmaking. As the blog posts read, basically anyone in top 500 will get a ranked update every single game. And yes, it is a different system up there. They're in the top 500. They kind of need to know by nuance, because it's literally called top 500, as in you're in the top 500. You need to know in nuance where you're moving up and down the ladder. But what's absolutely freaking hilarious about this is not only is it the Overwatch 1 system, but it's quite literally what players want. They literally just want this for all ranks. Just give us this across all ranks. But for some reason, it is exclusive to the top 500 players. Okay, you might say maybe it's not what players want. Okay. But here's the problem. They then go ahead and reduce the overall number of games from 20 to 15 for the average player and from 7 wins to 5 wins. So they've already reduced it, but it's still too high. It still feels too high. And I believe maybe maybe the season after they reduce it down to 3. Do they then leave it like that? Do they eventually go back to the Overwatch 1 system across all ranks? I believe they will. So the marketing in this video is two components. One, I believe that Blizzard will one day revert back to every single game a new rank or your updated rank will show. And the second part, as in right now, top 500 will have that new system. It is far from perfect, and please don't get me wrong, it is still a step in the right direction, as you hear me say often on this channel, but it is still so far from perfect, especially because they could very easily fix ranked with a couple few changes. Now, on the technical side of things, yes, I know it's not like just add a 1 to the code, Pepe. No, I'm not stupid. But the biggest thing is I feel if they just move towards the direction of two major things. One, have the backend MMR close the gap between that and your real rank, right? Instead of having a gold rank with diamond MMR and playing in diamond lobbies, close that gap so that people's MMR are much closer to the rank that is visually represented to them. That's the first step. Second step, just revert, let people see their rank update per game. That's it. Do those two things and Overwatch Ranked will already feel way better, because right now they have, and you know what's so funny is I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, I read somewhere that they originally did this to curb toxicity of some sort, as if it's a little less stressful when you have ranked updates more generally or more far apart, and it makes it a little less toxic, a little less stressful. But what's hilarious is in their system, with rank decay, with the MMR and real rank spread being so wide, you have people in the start of every season playing in games with, let's say, plat or let's say master MMR in plat lobbies, and then people just start roasting them. So you have a bunch of masters saying, yo, you're plat, GG, well played. Even if you have masters MMR, you can't prove it to them. All they see is a plat symbol. You got to close that gap. Big time. Sure, can someone have diamond MMR, like low diamond MMR, while being mid-plat? That's pretty normal. That's normal across most ranked systems. But the spread in Overwatch is freaking huge. Now, part of this is only part of it, will be resolved as Blizzard is removing rank decay. Season 3 will have rank decay, but by Season 4, they're removing the system altogether. This is a step in the right direction. Man, how many times I'm going to say that? Every video is, Blizzard, you suck, but you made a little right decision right there. And then hopefully all these little decisions will add up. Again, still very skeptical because right now Season 3 is looking grim. We have no new hero, as far as I can tell, no new maps. We have like basically nothing. We still have the ranked reset. Like Season 3 is looking grim. Hopefully what they can do is update and patch the game more frequently, keeping balance updates moving faster, and kind of optimize that system, and maybe Season 4 will be something to really look forward to with a you know, all these rank changes and everything. But I don't know, like just having all these, like we're hearing about it, we're talking about it today, but like season 4 is still a hot minute away. Now, another topic I wanted to talk about is, so basically there's a Q&A section at the bottom of the blog post. Here's the thing, I don't want to go through all of them. I told you, this is a discussion piece for my own mental, because one of them was the fact that Blizzard has now admitted that stats do not affect your MMR whatsoever. Meaning if you absolutely do shit versus the other enemy tank. Okay, let's say the enemy tank 20,000 damage dealt. You did 5,000 damage dealt, but your DPS carried you to victory. Doesn't matter. The MMR doesn't see that. It is only affected by wins and losses. That is it. This is actually one of the worst things I've ever heard. I did not know this at all. I thought there was some sort of change based off of your stats. You know, I thought if I was, let's say there's 2 healers. Okay, there's 4 healers in a game. Okay, there's 4 healers in a game. Let's say I'm the plot healer. There's 3 other diamond healers. I out heal all 3 of them. The MMR should be able to see this, that I performed better as a healer in the support role. Okay, in the support role versus the rest, and should adjust slightly based off of that. It shouldn't be as impactful as wins and losses, but there should be some changes. I'm gonna call, I've called this game more than once, back to Valorant. Actually, Valorant has a system in which you gain and lose points per game, meaning let's say you can gain 5 points, 10 points, lose 10 points, lose 20 points, blah, blah, blah. That point system can be fine-tuned because it's per point, right? You can lose 5 points, you can lose 10 points, you can lose 30 points. It doesn't matter. It can be fine-tuned. And those point systems kind of comprise of various different things, including assists, deaths, and kills. Meaning, let's say some game like Valorant can allow players who top frag, players who do the absolute best to gain some more points than people who are kind of just getting carried at the bottom. This is important. The reason this is important is because it'll allow people at the top to climb faster than people who are, let's say, not performing as well. Which does what? It helps future matchmaking to become more balanced because it's being fine-tuned. Each player is being fine-tuned. The more they're fine-tuned, the better games that they'll find, meaning it's just going to be overall quality. People who are both performing not as well, but maybe still winning games, can be placed together and make a better system. My goodness, it's not rocket science. And this all ties back to something. If the competitive mode doesn't feel great, you'll have people playing a lot of just unranked, right? That's what I've been doing. I watched Dittoz's video. He said he hasn't played ranked in a hot minute, and it felt good because I'm like, wow, okay, I'm not alone. Because in my previous video, I said Overwatch queue times are deadly, and I mainly talked about arcade and casual, and I genuinely had people tell me that Overwatch is not a casual game, and if you want casual game or arcade games, you should play a different game. It blew my freaking mind. It blew my mind, especially after crossplay and everything got added. Overwatch's weakest point is ranked. Especially right now, in this current ranked system, Overwatch's weakest point is ranked. There's a reason Overwatch League views are way lower than most other competitive game views, because Overwatch on a ranked level, to a lot of people, is a snooze fest. It's just a fact. I like Overwatch. I like to improve as Overwatch. I love watching Zebra and studying his Doomfist tech. He says I'm ass and I'm trying to learn how to play Doomfist better. That's fun to me. I am one of those people. But with that being said, just dismissing casual altogether is a huge mistake. So Season 3, as we enter it, if you put my last video and this video together, we're going to have a ranked system in which is still the old system with the reset. No new major content other than cosmetics that are overpriced, with an arcade and deathmatch and blah 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 system that doesn't work, where you can't even find any players. Whoa. To say I'm not worried. I'm not worried about the perception of Season 3 would be a lie. I believe, as most content creators have already noted, Overwatch has slipped a little when it comes to view count, player count, etc. I believe it'll continue to slip into Season 3 quite heavily. We'll do a full study on that in a future video to see if my prediction's right. I think it will. And I believe Season 4 will have an uptick if there's some new hero that comes out. But I believe Blizzard's really missing the ball here. Overwatch 2's launch was supposed to be a huge opportunity to revive the game and go hard on it. And then they've just slowly gone less hard on it each season, with things being quite far apart, and it's hard to trust Blizzard's word at this point. Another complaint I had is when the patch came out, people said, yo, why are you complaining? It's a good patch. They said they're going to communicate more, and it's just like they said that a million times before, dude. Blizzard talks. You know, the end of this blog says, can't wait to see you on the battlefield, gamers. Bro, if that doesn't scream PR, I can't. I don't know how to tell you. It's just they're just doing what they need to save face at the most part. It's very little to do with just like straight up passion, heart, soul, and energy from the game. You know what I mean? Sorry for that rant. I don't know. Feels a little bit meh. Now, with all that negativity, there is one good thing, genuinely great system coming to the Season 4 update for Ranked. I love it. I even think it's smart. I think it's a cool play by Blizzard. Basically, they're going to help improve matchmaking by making sure each role has a tied ranked. Let me explain. Basically, if your tank is a master player, they're going to look for a opposing tank that's also master. If your tank is a diamond player, it'll look for an opposing diamond tank player. This is huge because what it'll allow hopefully the matchmaker to do with enough info is start dictating what they need to test. So for example, let's say there's a freaking Reinhardt main that's just popping off, right? Okay, right now he's plat, but they believe his MMR is like master. They think he deserves a huge rank up. What it'll do is it'll look for another tank player in a similar situation on the back end, both having very similar MMR, and this will automatically balance the games way better because, for example, tanks can carry the game way harder than most classes or roles, meaning if your tank is just terrible compared to theirs, it'll feel way more like a role. That's just how it is. There's the tank diff. It definitely exists, and this also just goes across the entire team. If your supports are a little bit on the weaker side, they're both, let's say, golds. Hopefully the opposing two supports are also golds, or 1 gold, 1 plat. The opposing supports also have 1 gold, 1 plat. This will help fine-tune MMR, but it's very, 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 very far from perfect. Very far from perfect. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm done ranting. We're good. Bye-bye. Bye.